σύμφωνες πληροφορούσε τι ζώα υπάρχει, ποιοι ακυρώνες και πλήρηση.
Δίνος εσύ, πού συμμορείται πληροφορία να λαμβάνωση, ποια θητεία είπες διαθέτει και πρώτη κλέβωση.
Welcome to Athens, wanderer. More specifically, welcome to the musical hub of the city, the Odeon. The Odeon was where musicians came to share their songs with the public. The melodies played here caught the wind and drifted through the air, soothing the souls of Athenians across the city. Come find me when your visit is complete, and we will talk about the things you've learned. See you soon, wanderer.
Στρατολόγηση γέννητο, μάντεολες και περιφέρειες.
Music played an important part in almost every aspect of ancient Greek life, whether attending a public gathering, rubbing elbows at a dinner party, laying out offerings in a temple, or marching into battle. There was a song for everything. Aristotle even wrote that music increased the efficiency of laborers, and it was often played for rowers and field pickers to keep them working at a steady rhythm.
Πέμπης της ωραίων κεφαλάς, νόσους.
Άμα τον θάλασσαν αντλείς.
Ελθέ Θεά σώστηρα, άκουσα καλούς καρπούς, απογέει ειρήνη.
Η τραγωδία διαφθείρει τους νέους και ούκοι καταμαρθακίζονται. Γιατί όμως δεν θήκε άνευ του Γάλλους ή το ελάχιστο κοινό. Ανατρέχομεν εις τους τραγικούς της δομής ταύτης ένεκεν, μάλλον εις Σοφοκλέα.
Χρώμεθα το παραδείγματι των έργων αυτού, ή να αντιβάλλομεν το δέον γενέθλις.
Musical contests, or agones, were originally only held during religious festivals. Over time, they became cultural events in their own right and attracted musicians and spectators from all over the Greek world. For example, the Athenian Panathenea festival featured competitions for instrument playing and poetry recitation. The Dionysia festival included contests between groups of male singers to see who could best perform a Theatron, a merry hymn in honor of the god Dionysos. While these contests could be attended by all, women weren't allowed to compete in them. In the early days of the competitions, winners only received a crown and an ego boost for their talents. But from the Hellenistic period onward, the rewards were upgraded to cash prizes. These prizes were large enough for musicians to make a fortune, especially if they moved from festival to festival.
Μεγαλώνει με θεά, αγλαόκημε, τεχνών μύθης, πολύολβε, πολυλίστη λυτήρα κακών, εις τρούσα βρωτών ψυχάς.
The Odeon of Perikles was built sometime between the 440s and 430s BCE. The building was commissioned by Perikles for use in the Panathenaea festival. The Odeon was also a venue for poetry readings, political rallies, and philosophical performances. According to ancient sources, the original design of the Odeon was inspired by the tent of the Persian king Xerxes, a spoil of war the Athenians salvaged after their decisive victory at Salamis in 480 BCE. The building's roof was made of timber from captured Persian ships. In this sense, the Odeon was both a triumphant symbol of Athens and an insult to their Persian enemies. This structure was considered one of the grandest architectural accomplishments of ancient Athens.
Καλώς, το κάλος ενεργάζεται την αιτίαν εντίδεστε και επικρίνουσι συμφάγιν τελικώς, τούτε στη λόγος ικανός εγείρεστε εκ της κλίνης.
In ancient Greece, there was a type of music for almost any occasion. Complicated songs like hymns, paeans, and dithyrambs were meant for the ears of the gods, and as such were usually played during religious ceremonies and civic life. Meanwhile, a hymenaeus was a song performed at weddings, and a threnody accompanied funeral processions. For more merry occasions like symposia, scholia were the soundtrack of choice. However, drama was considered the epitome of artistic expression, since it combined songs with poetry, dance, acting, and costumes. Plays were thought to be the connection between mortals and gods, and the songs that accompanied them, especially those from the tragedies of Euripides, often became huge hits in the rest of Greece.
Περικάλια, άγε πλησιετάτο, εστίο ερωμανής, γαλήνια τούτον, πε αυτό ούκ είναι τούτο όντιο, ή ακούσετε αντιλήψετε, αλλά έκδημος εστί μετά τούτον απάντων. Απλώς προς απόκο, και νύν το ζεύγος των εραστών, η φύπτο της θεής, επαναπληρώνια έκαστο άγιες τελικών.
γέγητα θεωρών σε αληθές εστί. Κατανοώ ότι σας συναντήσει. Καλούμε σε Μάκα, Πολιόνι με Περίπολε και Τελετάρχα, Θεόν Πάτερ, Δε και Ιε, Υπούχε, Κούρε Δημάτορ, ότι ο κόσμος ηγέτος Ιησού,
Ήβρε κείμενον το τουρκικό της
μάλλον το εμαυτό λέγω πέρα. Πείτε ευθέως εκεί σε, ου φημογέ, δύσιμον το σου το εξυπνός, δίστο σου το αδύναμο.
Πολλά χρήματα των πρώτερων που αυτής πατήρεται
Πάλι τος τούτο συνέβη.
και πόντους παραθείου αυτής
Προσήλιστε τα προϊκόα έσονται του ανδρός της.
επιθυμούμε την ερήτρα.
Οι χαρακτήρες εν τες τραγωδίες προαιρούνται του ύψους της Διανίας ένεκεν. Τραγωδία εκλαμβάνει τας ιστορίας αυτών και χρείται ταύτας τραγωδοποιού ένεκα. Ούτως δεν κατημιμείται τα σπουδαίας αξίας των ιστοριών τούτων. Του αντίον επιμηχανάται ταύτας και προσμυθοποιεί. Αποκρίτει την προαίρεση αυτού εν το ενδύματι της συγκατανεμωμένης ιστορίας, προς επιδείκνυση σατανικά ψευδολογήματα άνευ ηθικών αφηγήσεων. Τι ούτω τρόπος κατά προδίδωση του συμπολίτας αυτού. Τραγωδία ανέρεσης εστί. Εστιμιασμός μυτιόμενος είναι να κλονίσει την ισορροπία του πνεύματος. Τας γυναίκας διαπέχεστε ποροτάφτης το αυτό και της δούλης. Τους νέους διδιδάσκεστε τα επιμηχανήματα αυτής ή να η ήτηση αναγνωρίζειν ταύτα. Και τους όφρονας πολίτας διεπιθεάζειν τους θεούς. Θεοκλητός ούτως ώστε η πατήρ της προϋποπτεύει μη ο αρτηγενής Υιός ανατραφής γίνει τραγωδοποιός, κάλιον έσεστε εκθέτην τούτων επί των κρυμνών ή να αποθάνει. Η τραγωδία διαφθείρει τους νέους και ούτε καταμαλθακίζονται. Εκπλήσει, αποφέρεται το πυρί του ατόπου υποθάλπων.
Οψόμεθα! Ηθιού πάβομεν! Ουκούν, άκουε, ήστα δει ότι η μήτηρ μου έλεγε αδιαλείπτως ουδέποτε υποκύπτεις.
Δύναμη ευτυχολή.
Σύζυγος ημών τέθηκε, μη κρεωρητήσουν μία διακάδα αγελάδων, άστινα σύλλευκε παρελθόν. Και τελετάρχα, άρτη και βρίσκεσαι μεταξύ δεχείων και παπάτων. Και πώς...
Επικαλούμε σε Μάκα.
Τετράρχα, Θεόν Πάτερ δε και ιέ, Κούρε Δημάτορ Βοτριόκος με οδηγέτων κομμών, Ελβέ, Μπάκας ημίτες πρωτός και χαρημένος εήτε,
Καλυφλόκα μοντφυγία και ω Θεά εύρωμε, πέμπης της ωραίων κεφαλάς, νόσους τέκε άλβη.
Εύδρομε πέμπης της ωραίων κεφαλάς νόσους και άλβη.
Επικαλούμεσαι, μάκαρ πολιώνει με πυρίπολε και τελετάρχα, Θεόν Πάτερ δε και ιέ.
Υγείαν, επεόλυβης είναι ενόρεας, γλακόφ, ευρυσίμενο, πολυλίστη βασίλεια, εολόμορφε και αγιοτάτη. Τεχνών μήτυρ πολύ ολβέ, πολυλίστη λυτήρα κακών, εις τρούσα βρωτών ψυχάς, σύφαια, ως ειρήνη πολύ ολβών και κόρων, ηδηγίαν, επεόλυβης είναι ενόρεας,
Βολώνει με και βολώνει.
Φαντασίαν πλέον.
Hello again. I trust your visit was worthwhile, and that learning of music was a feast for your mind. I know it was for mine. Is there anything else you'd like to do? That's the spirit. Follow me, wanderer. Welcome, wanderer, to one of the most prestigious places in Greece, the theater. The theater was where audiences gathered to watch plays. They were the highest form of art in Greece, and people saw theater as a symbol of complete harmony between the mortal world and the divine. When you're done taking in the sights and sounds, come see me, and we'll talk more. Until then, wanderer.
Theater is not just part of geek culture, but was a major part of Greek culture. In Athens, comedies and dramas originated from the dancing and singing performed by members of the cult of Dionysus. Between 536 and 533 BCE, theater's burgeoning importance in Athens was demonstrated when the responsibility of organizing tragedies was entrusted to the Archon, the highest-ranking magistrate in the city. From then on, theater grew rapidly in popularity, and soon, a permanent space for performing and watching plays was built on the slope of the Acropolis. During the 5th century BCE, theater became intertwined with Athens' democracy. It often functioned as an echo chamber for political ideas, and in some cases, it could even influence public opinion. As a result, in the 4th century BCE, Plato coined the term theatrocracy to describe his city's politics.
Επικαλούμεσαι, μάκαρ πολιώνυμε, πυρήβολε και τελετάρχα, Θεόν Πάτερ είσαι.
Theatrical competitions were held in the sanctuary of Dionysos Eleutherios, god of wine and patron of drama. Dionysus was the son of Zeus and a mortal woman named Semele. Stories say that Zeus, who had fallen in love with Semele, appeared to her holding a lightning bolt in his hand. Semele was tragically struck dead by the lightning, but Zeus managed to save her unborn child, keeping the embryo in his thigh until it fully gestated. This is why the name Dionysus is sometimes thought to mean born twice. In Athens, theater was a part of the cult of Dionysus, and stage productions in the god's honor were held during festivals like the Linnea and the great Dionysia.
Μάκαρ, μίστες Ιδρίων και καρημένος εΐ. Μεγαλώνει με Θεά, αγλαότιμε, τεχνών μύθιν πουλίολβε, πολυνίστη λυτήρα κακών, ιστρούσα βρωτών ψυχάς, σύ Θεά, δώσ' ειρήνην πολίολβων και κόρων ειδικίαν, επόλβησιν εν ώρες, γλαυκό φευρεσί τεχνέ, πολυνίστη βασίλεια, ο εολόμορφε και αγιοτάτη. Επικαλούμεσαι, μάκαρ πολιώνυμε, πυρήπολε και τελετάρχα, Θεόν, πάτερ ιδέ και ιέ, σκυπτούχε, κούρε δημάτορ, ο τριόκος με οδηγέ των κομμών, ελθέ, μάκαρ.
In Athens, there were 3 festivals that honored Dionysus with drama performances: the rustic Dionysias, the Linnea, and the great Dionysia. For the rustic Dionysia, each deme of Attica organized their own Dionysiac procession. The parades were full of phallic songs, dances, and symbols meant to signify fertility, and participants wore drunkard masks and sang bawdy lyrics about the god. The Linnea was the oldest Dionysian festival. It was exclusively reserved for Greek citizens and mostly made up of comedy performances. Finally, the Great Dionysia was the most important festival. Taking place over several days, it began with a parade called a Phallophori, followed by a dithyramb contest, and ending with consecrated drama competitions. The Great Dionysia was supervised by the head magistrate known as the Archon, who was assisted by 12 other magistrates. Among his duties, the Archon picked Chorigoi, rich Athenian citizens responsible for providing the budget for rehearsals and performances. 2 days before the Dionysia, a ceremony called the Proagon took place where playwrights introduced their work. The Dionysia finally began in earnest with a procession to the god's temple, followed by sacrifices and a symposium. The next 2 days centered on dithyramb contests, while the final 4 days were dedicated to drama competitions. The contests' outcomes were decided by 10 judges who were appointed at random by the Archon. The judges placed their votes in an urn, and 5 of the votes were randomly picked to determine the winner. All Athenian stage actors were male, regardless of whether they were playing men or women. Tragedies originally featured only 1 actor performing alongside a chorus, eventually reaching a maximum of 4. Adding more roles opened up the opportunity for dramatic dialogue. During performances, they prepared themselves in the skene, a building that served as a backstage area before emerging onto the proskenion, or stage. The skene could be painted to represent backdrops like palaces, temples, and tombs. Its roof was reserved for appearances by the gods. These gods could be moved around with a crane called a mechane, which produced spectacular visual effects. On stage, actors wore masks and elaborate costumes. For tragedies, they were adorned with magnificent clothes. While for comedies, actors playing male characters wore hugely exaggerated phalluses, probably to maximize the laughs. centerpiece of the theater was the orchestra, or dancing place. It was a large, circular area that hosted choral performances, religious rites, and, presumably, acting. Choruses were composed of men wearing masks and costumes. Any Athenian citizen could be choritai, as long as they were selected by the chorus director. Chorus members also served as the equivalent of a curtain, as their entrance and exit marked the beginning and end of the play. New costumes and masks were produced for the chorus for every new play, and they were often just as impressive and elaborate as the performances. For example, Aristophanes' comedies feature the chorus dressing as wasps, frogs, birds, clouds, and islands. One of his plays, The Knights, even had men riding other men dressed as horses. Athens' Theatron, or performance space, could seat up to 17,000 people, nearly a tenth of the population of Attica. Its excellent acoustics made it ideal for drama, but it was also sometimes used for political meetings and parades. The theater was accessible to everybody. This did not mean that seating was free, though. The first rows were normally where priests and public officials sat, while the central part of the auditorium was reserved for ambassadors and guests of honor. There is also evidence that men and women sat separately. In general, theater audiences were emotional and noisy. During performances, they would shout, curse, and throw things depending on their mood, and their reactions were just as much a part of the experience as the acting.
Νέα σχολεία την βέβαια. Όχι, ήκουσα την Ευήθιαν ταύτην και τον πρώτο.
Διατιουχή, άρου.
Η ακρή.
Ποσός πατήρης σαν έσχυτος κλέφτης. Φύγε χώρο.
Ωρα πλήσμονες κλεφτή.
Μη φεύγω.
Είναι. Αφρονή, ο εμός πατήρης.
Hello again, Wanderer. I hope your visit was entertaining. Though all art forms were important in Greek culture, none had the same prestige as theater, which provided a unique experience with every performance. Is there anything else you'd like to do?